Well, 2017 is over. Comics this year have been pretty all over the place, but some really mind-blowingly outstanding books have dropped in the last year. Sure, some turds too, but some really surprisingly outstanding books all over. Here's my picks for the best books of 2017. I'm comedian and comic enthusiast Dan Umpton, and this is my co-host, Cookie Cha, which is a green tea, because it's Detox January, baby. Welcome to the Doomcast. From Dan Ahmed, one half of the creative team of the 2008 Guardians of the Galaxy reboot that turned an obscure group of cosmic heroes from Marvel into a household name, now he's doing the same with Aquaman. Like a lot of DC's books, it publishes twice a week, and it moves very quickly. International intrigue, Atlantean politics, widescreen action, and it pits Aquaman against all manner of impossible shit. From writer Cullen Bunn with amazing covers by Art Adams, X-Men Blue has followed the original time-lost young X-Men, and it focuses on their character development and their weird mentor relationship with Magneto, whose solo series Bunn penned in 2015. It has Beast pursuing sorcery instead of science and becoming a black metal goat beast thing. What more do you want? Speaking of Metal, probably the tightest, craziest event book in years to come out of the Big Two, Metal is from the creative team behind the New 52 Batman. Arguably the best book to come out of the New 52, and probably one of the best runs on Batman ever. Alternate evil Batman, magic, Hawkman the thrall of a demonic bat creature. Really, Metal lives up to its name. On the heels of Secret Empire, comics' legendary team of Mark Waid and Chris Samnee take over Cap. Everything the two set their hands to is gold. Samnee and Waid create clear, enjoyable, tight, fun, purely good comic stories, in exactly the way that Nintendo does with their franchise video games. Steve Rogers' Cap is back being the Cap that we know Steve Rogers to be, and that feels real good. Tom King breaks down psychology, motivation, and his relationships to his biggest adversaries in his Batman. King has a way of creating tight, fun, concise stories in the same way that Mark Waid does, albeit with a balanced vacillation between dark, offbeat humor and high-concept crazy stuff, like the Riddler and the Joker deciding to fight over who gets to kill Batman. Consistently weird, funny satire from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. Their book Curse Words follows the exile of Wizard on Earth in the wake of his defection from a dark wizard, a Sauron-like creature called Syzygy. It's silly, it takes huge, weird risks, and it's probably one of the most fun comics being published right now, by any imprint. Jordi Belair pens Redlands, a series drawn by Vanessa Del Rey and lettered by Clayton Cowles. It stands out amazingly because it follows three witches who are also cops and also run a Florida town in secret and are also being stalked by a crazy murderer who's somehow connected with the occult as well. Especially cool is the fact that Jordi Belair is operating outside of what her normal role usually is. She's a colorist by trade, but she's crushing it with writing. The occult detective stuff is already a slam dunk, but this is really outstanding. A really stark look at death, depression, ennui, power, and fear, and the new gods. Mr. Miracle shouldn't be this much fun or funny, right? It's too much fun, really. Every single issue is impeccable. You start with a series about scot-free attempting suicide, dealing with the fallout with Barda, and then before you know it, Orion is Highfather eating a veggie tray in his apartment, sentencing him to death. It's insane. And it's perfect. Really, it's one of Tom King's and Mitch Gerads' best series ever, and that's saying a lot since King is turning into an Alan Moore / Grant Morrison level redefiner of characters in mainstream comics. I couldn't love it more. But I have to give the #1 spot this year to Daniel Warren Johnson's Extremity. A really tight, stark, beautiful, and crazy look at loss, hate, revenge, and redemption, and the toll that all of those things take, and it's set in a floating world above the ruins of an old one. It's great. It's as good as Mr. Miracle is, which is saying a lot, yes, but also consider the fact that Johnson is doing everything but lettering and coloring this book. Beyond that, it's his first mainstream publication. The story and the world that he's creating is rich, heartbreaking, deep, and beautiful, and his art has a gritty Baroque quality to it that's amazingly detailed and enviably gorgeous lines. The whole book looks very fluid, and it's perfect in every way. It's beyond perfect. It's a fucking triumph, and you need to get every single issue. go back and find them. Good luck. That about wraps it up for 2017. What's on tap for the next year? There's already a lot to look forward to. It's amazing to see how one creative team on a book or a concept that you wouldn't expect makes all the difference in the world. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week. Oh, also, did you want one of these bitchin' t-shirts? You can get it at Capes Cafe. They've also got Doomcast t-shirts there. Just $20, and all the proceeds from the shirt get reinvested back into this show. Equipment, software, and the like. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in 2018.